Now that we're familiar with looking at numbers and their relationships, in Khipus, you might be curious about the meaning behind these numbers. Some numbers may be straightforward. For example, a yellow cord with a value of 13 might record a tribute of 13 gold pieces given in taxes to the Spanish. But numbers can also represent more abstract ideas. For instance, Marcia Ashcer and Robert Ashcer explored this in their book, Code of the Quipu. Check below for a link to the book on Amazon. Here are some examples where the same set of numbers can have different meanings. So if you set up the numbers like this, it could be a phone number in the United States or a phone number in Peru. This is an address, a government identification number, a time and date. Let's take a closer look at KH0303 from the previous chapter. Although no number values were assigned to the first 12 pendants, these cords do have knots. Here is a more detailed view of the Khipu. In this view, the pendants are drawn to scale with a scale bar here, so you can see which pendants were longer than others. We'll talk more about these features in a future video, but just for reference, the D here is because the primary cord is doubled over. There's a space between the beginning and the first pendant of 1.5 centimeters, and V shows the way the pendant is attached to the primary cord. V is for verso, which we'll actually cover in the next video. This is a figure 8 knot, a long knot with 4 turns, and a single knot. For now, let's focus on the first 12 pendants. We can see a figure 8 knot here, here, and here, but the investigator recording the Khipu data didn't think they symbolized a cord value. Instead, they ask if the knots of this introductory segment mean Puruchuco. Like maybe that's the first word discovered in a Khipu. So those are introductory cords. Another place in the Khipus where numbers are set up a certain way to carry a different meaning is in subsidiary cords. According to Garcilaso de la Vega, subsidiary cords are used to provide additional information to the pendant cord. He gives an example. If a cord represents the number of men or women of a certain age, it is understood that they are married. And the subsidiary cord indicates the number of widowers or widows in that age group. Marcia Ashcer and Robert Ashcer, who studied the mathematical relationships of the cords in 215 Khipus, said that some subsidiaries are used simply to associate more than one value with a cord position. Others are to record one value, but in distinct parts. Mackey also observed that in some Khipus, subsidiary cords appear to supplement the pendants, while in others, the subsidiary value is added together with the pendants, and the total is then represented in the totalizer cords, meaning that the pendant cord and the subsidiary cord are kind of recording the same thing, right? And then they get summed on another cord. An example of a totalizer cord is like the top cords we discussed in the previous video. Not a whole lot is written about subsidiary cords, but I plan to do a video to look at them in more depth much later as part of a deeper investigation video series. Please leave any questions you'd like to explore or comment about things that you saw and about how subsidiaries were used in previous videos. Hope you enjoyed studying. Bye.